Ready for the midnight howl?
Yes, my friend, let's really light up the night with our pretty voices. What song shall we howl first?
What about Help Me?
Hi there, it's me, Liberal here, and I'm here today to show you something a bit unusual and a bit cool about LTX 2.3 you might not know. Did you know that despite the guidelines on GitHub, on the places where you download the model, you can overclock LTX 2.3, particularly the newest model, which is 1.1 distilled. I've got the current 6 version. I would say this goes for most models of LTX 2.3. And you get significantly longer videos out of it without too many glitches. And in some cases you don't really see any glitches. In some cases it's like, oh okay, it looks like it was almost meant for that time. This is definitely something you cannot do with WAN. I mean, absolutely for sure. I once tried putting WAN at least 1 second past 5 seconds and it lost the prompt coherence altogether. The prompt coherence went down the drain. I definitely think the Gemma stuff seems to be better at holding prompt coherence. Maybe in the next version of WAN they should switch to Gemma. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting video where we're going to generate a video that I've done, regenerate it, but we're going to overclock LTX 2.3. Now I want to show you something before we start. You have to set this up. In order to set it up properly, you look at your slider and you'll actually probably see, I'll just show you this quickly. You will start with, just need to find this little thing, that at its default. With that at its default, you'll see this on your system. You will see that you can only go to 30 frames. And yeah, that's okay, but there's one problem. DP Beep, who is sort of doesn't seem to like to keep things the same all the way through his software. Not saying that's a complaint or anything, but it is a little bit of an unfortunate. Seems to make it that you can't really get 30 seconds out of the program without having a sliding window perform. We want to avoid these at all costs. They are absolutely rubbish on LTX 2.3. I think he's still trying to master it on LTX 2.3. They're next to useless, to be quite honest. We want rid of these. We want to show the software we can do it without these. So, even if you are only going to use 30 seconds, I strongly recommend you go into configuration, you go into general, you go to this thing here that confused me when I first heard about it, max frames, but that's only because I did not read that second part, which I do have a habit of doing, not reading a second part of something. Max frames made me think, alright, this is going to like maximise the frames during the video, it's going to like make, don't know, videos 20 frames per second or 30 frames per second or 60 frames per second. So like that, it's a multiplier. I didn't read duration multiplier, and actually this is a lot more useful to me. Because my little GPU would not be able to take multiplying frames. It can actually take this with a little. Okay, I think I've dealt with that camera problem. I've actually decided I'm just going to uninstall that camera altogether because I never use it. Okay, so what you want to do here is you want to go to the max frames multiplier on the thing, and I select level 7 just so we've got a really clean shot. Now you can actually get away with level 5. I think I've used level 5 on a couple of my videos. I'm going to do level 5. You could do level 5 or level 7. Then set that as your default. And when you come back to the slider, you'll see it's all the way over here now, meaning it's really small. Now, to be fair, I don't want to really go over 30 seconds. But what you will notice is quite cool. The sliding window is now over here, which means now we can do this and throw it out the park. And that's what we want to do here. We want to throw the sliding window out the window. We want to basically push this to a level where it can't possibly find it. I think DP really needs to make a way of disabling this silly thing in the next version, because it gets right in my way and it doesn't work. So I think if you want to overclock the model, there should actually be an overclock mode in the next one, and that's just because you're going to be surprised how well this works. I was surprised how well this works, and I basically decided, well, I'm just going to try this. But I was amazed that I was able to get a full conversation clip without much deteriorating at all out of it. And that clip, you know, was I just made it for fun, like I do my clips. And it wasn't like extremely long. It was maybe 24 seconds, which is still a bit more than it was, but I have had a 40-second clip out of this. That didn't look too bad either. But things started deteriorating when we went over 1 minute, and my GPU definitely did not like that, as all gonna say. So stay under 1 minute if you don't want to cook your GPU and you've got quite a small one like me. Otherwise, you'll probably be able to get even higher out of this. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen this model start deteriorating yet. Except maybe a tintiest bit on 1 minute. Tintiest bit. But nothing like WAN. So, the max duration is to be questioned now. I think I should have actually said this model can officially do 30 or 40 seconds, because I don't see any reason why it can't. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to rerun an interesting scene, and I'm going to extend it. Hold on. I often go in the wrong place. Right, we're going to go to the gallery. Probably going to see a lot of strange videos in here. I'm just going to warn you right now. No, I don't want to use the camera. I disabled it. Turn off notifications. I hope that's not trying to enable things while I want them off. Do you know, Windows 11 is a pain in the ass. I'm not going to lie, it's a pain in the ass. Okay, it's still got 2 wolves in the fish and chip shop. I don't know if we'll actually see the wolves, or whether we'll see just the first frame, which is actually the meal. And the reason why is because I'm going to extend this clip to include the rest, well, more, maybe not the whole rest, more of their conversation that they're having at the table.
It's nice to have a feast with you. How are you?
I'm fine. Got a nice day this evening. Looking forward to roasting it up tonight.
That's great. Bet you are looking forward to slicing him up tonight.
This is the idea. Okay, so here we are. This is the clip we want. And that's not actually the best version, but that doesn't matter because we are going to rerun the whole prompt. Right. So now we're going to go back into this model. Now remember, this script wasn't actually generated with this model in the first place. Paste that all back in here. Right, okay. The reason why I don't send it to from the gallery is because it sends the frames. I don't want the frames sent, to be honest. Which is just one thing I'm not overly keen on about a gallery plugin. So I like to do it that way. I highlight the prompt and I just copy and paste it back in. Okay, so CGI, I'm going to get rid of CGI. See if we can keep the wolves looking a bit more realistic. I don't know if we're going to need that load of writing back that I had on the other prompts. I've recently started using that little prompt It's actually from Aurora originally, and I've used it just on all the videos, and it is making them a bit better. So I don't know. I think because this one didn't originally have it, I'm going to just keep it off of this one. Okay. Now, there's a little trick here with conversations that get them to, shall I say, come out better. Just going to see if this is a victim of that same thing. The first, yes, okay. See the word the. You want to take the word the out. That really helps it. So instead of the first wolf and the second wolf, you're going to say first wolf, second wolf. And then there's a little bit of the action. Reminds me of Silly Tavern, sort of the way you do the role play. The first wolf. Here's a nice curved slice of fish, eats some chips, and the fork over it. He says, "That's great." He eats the fork over and says, "Bet you're looking forward to something like that." Okay, so we'll now extend that conversation probably a good few more lines. Then what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to re-copy and paste part of this. Since they're dying, so it's a repetitive action. So I'm going to take it from the first wolf looks up from his meal. So he's going to thing this, and we're going to change the speech. We're going to change the speech but keep the actions. And I might even paste this twice because we're going to make a very long video here. Okay, so let me just find where the that bit ends. Okay. Okay, so he's going to say, "Looks really delicious." This is extending the conversation a little bit. And he's going to say something like, because the first will sort of like compliment it, Bill, he's going to say something like, "Thank you. I do try to catch the best, you know." Like I said, same actions as before because they are dying. "You do, my friend." I'm trying to imagine what they're saying in the cafe. "For folks, I bet you look at the water." Maybe we should hunt together sometime. Okay, now I'm going to paste that again. You can see it's went off the prompt. So, this is as long as I'm going to make it. I'm doing this so we can stretch LTX as far as we can push it. I'm going to try and stretch this to 40 seconds. This will take quite a bit of doing, and I want to see how many glitches it makes in the 40 seconds. Won't be as many as you think. Okay, so together sometime. I found all this quite tricky to see, to be honest. I'm used to making each paragraph like a separate line, but it's okay. Just have to give my eyes time to adjust to this. Okay, so we start asking how does fish and chips. That's always a good question. Because quite often they'll talk about the meal if they haven't. Oh, really good. He's going to go, oh, really good. This eatery does them well. And then, in typical Realmium fashion, I'm going to have to be... Oh, the next question would be, shall we have some more? Because Realmiums don't really get full. Shall we have some more here? That's that. Now, if you wonder what nightfall is, that's a mealtime in the Mystic Realm. It's after supper, and it's the biggest meal of the day. It's actually eaten at midnight. It's a midnight, some will call it midnight feast. It's actually like a genuine midnight feast though. It's, instead of it like being, you could say an extra meal, it's actually classed as one of the standard meals of a Realmium. And it's huge. I mean, that's when they down tire horses, zebras, even giraffes. So, I feel like we're going to overclock this model. That's quite overclocked. Okay, but we are overclocking this model. We're going to now overclock this to 40 seconds. This is probably about max I can get out of this computer. Now, I don't really want to get rid of the prompt that I had. I think I probably would be better just using a start image with this rather than frames. So I'm going to turn off the frames. And I'm going to just let it load in the image it did last time. So we've got like lots of stock images and stuff. Got that fish and chips that I used on the last clip might be there, but if not, we could use a different one. Yeah, I'm just trying to get it caught there. I don't know this one. I'm going to have to upscale it and everything. It's a very, very small image. Okay. Okay, it doesn't have to be the same one. What we can do is we could throw this one in. This one would work. Actually, I'm not sure if it's for hands. The hands might confuse it. We'll throw this one in. We'll start with this one. We'll put it at full strength, and we're going to now send the overclocked prompt to the model. Before I do, I'm just going to save it as Wolfish and Chips. The main reason why I'm saving it is because I don't actually want to overwrite that command that I've got currently in the prompt because I'm busy with something else. So I'm going to just save it here so I don't have to save it as default settings. And I can just load it back up again. And yeah, okay. Let's do it. Okay, so you can see here, it's a giant prompt. Absolutely giant. We'll see how much of this it gets right. It is. It probably is going to freaking challenge it, this actually. I've never done a prompt this long. I think I've overclocked the prompt a little bit as well. But really it's just a duration for overclocking.
So what is the point of NVIDIA quantizing LTX 2.3 compared to Q8 or Q6?
How the hell do I know? You'll just have to compare them.
Oh, I hope I have enough RAM.
Okay, so we are absolutely, you could say, generating a storm. Yeah, let's have a look at what's going on. Okay, it's only approaching the second pass now. Now, needless to say, never run this with one pass, because if you do, you really hurt your GPU. I mean, that's probably guaranteed if you've got a GPU like mine. I would never run this on one pass. We are generating a significantly longer video. We're actually generating, strictly speaking, we're generating about twice what they say you should be able to do with it. So we're overclocking it double. Quite serious overclock. But I have actually had a 48-second video out, and I would say only the very end of it was maybe a tiny bit glitchy. But definitely didn't make the quality so bad. I was like, oh my god, why the heck did I do that? So personally, I think this can be overclocked quite successfully. What I've seen of it, but I will let you know this is a significant overclock we've done on it this time. This is quite significant, and that's because of the extra long prompt that we put in. So we did a bit of an experiment. We'll see what it looks like. Because it will have to get the conversation, hopefully get the two wolves' voices flowing. There'll probably be a dropped line here and there where the wolf will say someone else's line. I wouldn't be too surprised if that happens at least once or twice. This is an extremely long conversation. I've ever went a little bit overboard with it. But I want you to focus on the video quality. The quality of the video. Even if the quality of the video is a little bit, shall I say, you may look at it and might think, oh, the animation's not too good here, or whatever. That's the seed. The seed controls all that. I want you to focus on the actual quality of the video, as in, is it watchable? That's the question. Is it watchable? Is there a lot of artifacts? Things like that. Now, I will let you know I am using a couple of LoRa's as well, and I probably would recommend these LoRa's. We probably didn't actually need fantasy realism in there, that's just been loaded. But I would definitely recommend these two, Lincoln and Crispin Hands. If that causes problems, we might have to rerun it. It could be, sometimes that can cause problems. So, but the Crispin Hands is on 0.7, and you can get these two from Civid AI, and I think this one might be from Civid AI as well, but I can't remember. So. It's quite interesting. It says, oh, certain material is JSON. You can put that in there, or you can download a LoRa. I've never tried using that for a LoRa download. I've never tried using that. The thing is, it's a bit annoying though, is that Civid AI doesn't let you select the links very well, so it's very hard to get it into a downloader. To be honest, I think if I had a choice between this and what I'm about to show you here, I would definitely pick this over it, because this here has just been really great. It downloads the files, it's pretty quick on my system, especially with poor internet, and it just does the job really, really well. It's totally free, and yeah, it's really good. So I would totally recommend this free download manager. I think it does its job really well. So if I was choosing between that and that, I probably would choose the free download manager over that. I mean, the download that's built into DPB out in the WAN GP, I wouldn't say it's bad. It definitely is not. I've got a lot of like big models in progress, and to be fair, it does finish them. It's not actually bad at all. But if you want full control, you can use the download manager. Okay, here we go. VAE decoding. The moment of truth. It's about to pop out. This is the most GPU intensive part. I'm just going to monitor my GPU temperature a little bit, and if necessary I'm going to crank the fan up, because yeah, overclocking the model is quite GPU intensive. 77 temperature, that's quite warm, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to throttle that. That's just to see if we can get it down a little bit. Okay, that seems to have the opposite effect. It's because the VAE decoding is such a powerful thing. But I think it'll be okay. I found out a lot of the artifacts and stuff I was having last night was actually the fault of the detail Aurora. I can no longer recommend the detail Aurora, I'm afraid, for LTX 2.3. I would recommend these new ones, which is like the crisp enhancer. Some might argue it doesn't actually do as much detailing as the original detail Aurora. I don't know, I'd just say if you use the detail Aurora, just be careful with it because it's not quite compatible with the latent space of LTX 2.3. Just trying to get that temperature down a little bit. I mean, you're probably looking at that and thinking, that's nothing compared to the temperatures my GPU runs, and I could only imagine how hot some of the big GPUs run. I could only imagine it. But this is only a small guy. And I'm trying to look after it, so. The computer's in quite an airy space. One thing I do quite like about this computer is that its cooling fan doesn't sound like a fan. It sounds like a wind. So it's actually very relaxing to listen to, and I've actually fell asleep listening to this computer working before. Okay, so I'm just going to put it back to automatic so it can focus down, get itself into a nice range. Oh boy, here we go. How's it going to turn out?
It's nice to have a feast with you. How are you? I'm fine. Got a nice deer this evening. Looking forward to roasting it up tonight. That's great. Bet you are looking forward to slicing him up tonight. Looks really delicious. Thank you. I do try to catch the best, you know. You do, my friend. Maybe we should hunt together sometime. How's your fish and chips, my friend? Oh, really good. This eatery does them well. Shall we have some more later? Yes, let's return here after nightfall tonight.
Okay, I'm going to say something very critical. It's not acting at all in that one. We're actually getting almost like a narration instead of two characters speaking. So, don't quite know what's caused that. That could be a bad seed. What I'm going to do is drop the strength to 99 for the next one. In fact, I'll drop it to 98, which is normally what I use to give it thinking room. I forgot because I used a first image rather than a frame this time. I should have dropped that to 98. I don't think fantasy realism caused it a big problem, but I don't think it's that necessary. So I'm going to unload it. Alright, I've saved it over my thing now, never mind. If I need that other prompt again, I'll just put it back in. Okay, so you can see that it's definitely not bad. I think you probably only noticed a slight frame glitch from the first wolf in one part. The motion pretty much stayed as it was. They were eating their fish and chips, and yeah, the meals are not very good, but sometimes they come out good, sometimes they don't come out so good, depending on the picture. So what I'm going to do is swap the picture and try again. I think what I'm going to do this time is we're going to load. I'm going to try loading this because this is a really clear picture. Even though it's sort of in the middle of the table a bit. That doesn't matter because what it will do is it will do what it did before. It will probably just cut to its own scene. That's almost being used like a reference image. So might get a better result with that. It might look more like fish and chips with that. I can't guarantee. Like I said, that's not as important as what we're watching the quality of the video. And I think you'll agree the quality of the video for the whole 40 seconds was perfectly watchable. So let's see if we can tune in the play. If we can't, I might have to shorten the play a little bit. Sadly, I am going to have to send this for another run. So, I'm going to do that. Okay, so as we do that, I also would like to say as well, a huge thank you for 26 subscribers. This is the most subs I've ever had on this channel, and it's greatly appreciated. And I know you're probably looking at me and thinking, what? You're thanking them for a Weasley number like that? And I'm like, well, actually, for me, that is not Weasley. That is pretty much, that's 1,000 subscribers on this channel. I'm going to be quite blunt. It really is. Because, like I said, this channel is extremely unique, and I'm just grateful for anyone who takes part in it, I'm going to be honest. So, thank you for supporting my channel and keeping it, I could say, running. I mean, I'm pretty much always going to do this in the background anyway. It's probably never going to be my main passion, because I'm just not as social media orientated as most other people. Let's put it that way. But I like doing it as a hobby. It's a fun hobby. Just like WAN GP's a fun hobby. So I do appreciate your support. That's all I can say for now. Okay, so we're going to now have to wait a little bit longer for this to generate. So I'll probably cut out and come back to you when it's nearly finished like last time. So, see you soon.
Being a regenerative fish can be hard sometimes, but we can't keep hungry diners waiting. I've been caught battered and served with chips, and now guess what? It's time for round 2. Oh well, I've heard this fish and chip shop does better chips. At least I'll be on a softer bed this time.
Okay, so as you can see, this one has took a little bit longer. I think maybe because we've used a higher def image at the start to kick it off. So hopefully we should get something really good out of this, that will have a bit more acting in it. But you probably could see that the script was actually read absolutely perfect by the narrator, even though we did it all in one voice. The wolves basically didn't have a voice each. Now, obviously, if that continues to be a problem, what I might have to do is write a little bit more about the scene at the start, and then say use the roleplay below. But like I said, I don't normally write my prompts like this anyway. I've got sort of a slightly different way of writing my prompts. It could be because I've done it so long as well. This is just to see if we can get something that covers the 40 seconds. To show that you can do a 40-second overclock. But I think from that you can definitely see it is possible. But let's see if this one's even better. It's just going to VAE decode it now, which can take a while and is pretty intensive stuff. Let me check my GPU again. Check how it's doing. And yeah, we're going up to about the 70-80 temperature. As long as we don't go any higher than that, it should be okay. So I might just give it another little blast at the fan to basically help cool it down a bit more during the intensive part. That's all I'm doing that for. Sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't. But this is a significant overclock. We're going to we're going double the duration here. This is actually the most of it I've got out of it successfully, without it losing a lot of quality. So this is double. This is 20 seconds, 40 seconds. This is significant. So I hope this video has been useful to you. I know it's not quite over yet, but I hope this video has been useful to you to show you that you should not be afraid to play around with LTX 2.3 because it's took to overclocking quite well. I'm not gonna lie. And I have had, like I said, some scenes come out of it that are overclocked with the new 1.1 distilled model, and they've been really impressive. all the way through. Okay, close that, we're ready to play.
It's nice to have a feast with you. How are you? I'm fine. Got a nice deer this evening. Looking forward to roasting it up tonight.
Okay, so slightly two voices here.
Great. Bet you are looking forward to slicing him up tonight. Looks really delicious. Thank you. I do try to catch the best, you know. You do, my friend. Maybe we should hunt together sometime. How's your fish and chips, my friend? Oh, really good. This eatery does them well. Shall we have some more later? Yes, let's return here after nightfill tonight.
Yeah, so you can see it didn't deteriorate much. Some might say there was a slight glitch at the end with the movement of one of the wolves, slightly glitchy frames, very, very slightly, but absolutely nothing, you know, worth saying, oh my god, it's so bad, I'm going to throw the whole video out the window. If you need to do this, you can do it. Maybe not maybe up to this point, but maybe you can. It definitely does 30 seconds. I've done 30 seconds, absolutely no problem with it. And I do start to realise that I think the script was so long, it's actually struggling to fit it all in. So, I think that's why it's not acting too well at the moment, because this is a huge prompt. But it did get every part of it. I'm not gonna lie, it got every part. It done the actions of the wolves dying in, and it did, in the end, as I was saying, before that came over, yeah, so these two wolves are dying in their fish and chips. I think these look a bit more like fish and chip plates now as well. So this image has worked a bit better. I mean, it never takes it in that well, to be honest, and that's because LTX2, the whole series of LTX2 just isn't that good at image to video. It's just not that good at it. It's just the way it is. But sometimes you can hone it in a little bit better. So you can see it's not too badly honed in on this one. And they're sitting in their cafe and they're just having a nice meal together, and it feels casual. It doesn't feel like, you know, like they're pressured or anything. It feels like they're taking it easy, and that's how it should feel. So that's how you can significantly, and I'd say significantly, without too much loss of detail, overclock LTX 2.3. And I would definitely say, do not be afraid to go over 20 seconds. Definitely do not be afraid to go up to 30 seconds, because with that I've hardly seen any drop in quality. Even less than this. Maybe a tiniest drop on this one. Tiniest drop. But absolutely fully watchable, and still a really good video. So, I had the crisp enhancer and stuff. You probably do want to make sure you've got your LoRa's loaded, because you're obviously going to be straining the model here. You're going to be making the model do a bit more than it's meant to. So you probably do want to have your LoRa's loaded, so that basically when things do drop a little bit, they don't drop as much. Now you will quite rightfully say, I always render on a very low resolution, and that's because that's all my GPU can handle. Some of you probably are wanting to render this resolution, and my computer actually can't do it. But all I'd say is, if you do want to render that resolution, I would be very cautious about doing an overclock like this. Just be careful, that's all I'm going to say, because that might have more problems than it would at a lower resolution. The most my computer can do is that, so I would say up to there is safe, and I would say up to there would also be quite overclockable, but I haven't actually tried an overclock at that resolution, so I can't confirm it. This resolution works fine, just stick with it, it won't damage anything, as long as you don't go too far over 1 minute. And there you are. I know this is maybe a slightly rambly video, but I thank you very much for sticking out with it. Hope you very much enjoyed it. And yeah. stay tuned for any new developments to come up on this channel. Sub if you like this, and that part's, of course, totally up to you. And have a great night. I will let you know, WAN GP version 11.33 at the moment's got a big bug in it. So, I know you're probably thinking I'm using this version. I can't recommend it right at the moment. It's got a big bug in it where it's going to keep erasing one of your files and keep constantly re-downloading it and keep constantly making things not work. So the reason why I've got this up and running at the moment is because I haven't actually closed it since yesterday. So just to let you know, I can't recommend this update, so I would hold off on updating for now, and hopefully we'll probably get an all clear soon on this 11.33 version, which isn't much different to 11.31, to be honest. It's not much different, so you're not missing out on huge stuff. Both of these are perfectly overclockable, and I've actually overclocked even older versions than this before. By making my custom fine tune, but that's a custom fine tune. 2.3, 1.116, that's my own custom fine tune to use the quantized 6 model of the new 1.1 distilled version. You probably can tell that because I've slightly messed it up on here, the description, but that's quite normal for me. Okay. Hopefully you've had good fun learning this, and I know I rambled a bit again at the end, but I often do that. And now I'm going to get down to doing some more videos for my little project that I'm doing, and yeah, I'll see you some other time. Thanks for watching once again, and goodbye.
Total Eclipse, what are you doing? Oh! See you around.